What is going on, guys? My name is Demetri, and welcome to the Rise Potential Podcast. In today's episode, we have a personal finance YouTuber who is doing insanely well right now. He's got some awesome videos that I want you all to go check out right when you're done with this podcast. His name is Euan Copeland. Did I say that right, Euan?
Yeah, you got it bang on.
Nice. I didn't know if it was, well, I almost said Copeland, but there is an E, so I'm glad I understand basic, letters. And
English.
Yes, good. Not the King's English, but, English.
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of the King's English, Euan, tell everyone where you're from. I'm hoping they could guess from the first millisecond of hearing you. You're from a certain
accent.
Area.
Yeah, so I'm from London. I am, how old am I? 24. And yeah. What? I've got to check. Come on. I've got to check. I'm getting old, so it's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm not saying I forget what my age is, but I think it's funny when a lot of people forget what their siblings' ages are or their parents' ages are. And for me, I just never am forgetting my brother's because he's 3 years older than me, and I have always known that.
Yeah.
And then on years where his birthday is first, because he's in October, and then I'm in February, sort of thing. And it's just I always know he's 3 to 4 years, but I have these people that I'm friends with, and they always are like, how old are my siblings? I'm like, didn't you have a marker growing up, and then you based it off the time of the year, or am I the only one who does this?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of those things. After 21, you sort of just
who cares?
Shit, really, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Yeah.
Treat me like an adult. I don't know. Yeah. I just did that deep man voice. Anyways,
you're growing up, Demetri. It's good.
I'm clearly growing up. That's how a grown up acts, right? Yes. Complete grown up. And speaking of complete grown ups, I want to hear a little bit about what your grown up degree is in, and what you're doing right now for your grown up job, and that kind of stuff in good old London.
Yeah. So I did a degree in accounting and finance at the University of Winchester, which is a very small town on the sort of south coast south coast of England, and I graduated just around 2 years ago, and ever since then I have been working for a pharmaceutical company, training to be an accountant. So that is going all right at the moment, but hopefully this sort of thing kicks off. So.
I'm going to be honest, that sounds riveting, and I'm being very sarcastic when I say that. There's nothing against accounting or accountants. I just didn't like accounting when I took it in college at all.
Yeah, no, I enjoy the finance part of it, but there are some very dry aspects to it, which coming with a job, most jobs have dry things in them, don't they?
Yeah, that's fair.
Accountant maybe just a bit more to the average person, I suppose.
Yeah, I just think when you have all those numbers, and I mean, conceptually, accounting is just making sure things add up correctly.
Yeah.
And that's just wow, that sounds, I don't know. There's just something about when you say that out loud, you just think to yourself, that sounds very entertaining.
Yeah, it's sort of like you're just sort of counting things, aren't you? You're not. There's no creativeness to it.
Exactly.
There's aspects of creativeness, but I enjoy this creative part. So thank you for having me on.
Yes, exactly. That's why we both make videos, because in anything, there's going to be some drier aspects to it. But I mean, with statistics and stuff, at least you can manipulate data. For me, my major was marketing. That's generally the most creative business major, I'd say.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple sort of optional modules that I did in terms of marketing, which are a lot more interesting. Because marketing is mostly psychology, isn't it? So it's interesting to sort of hear about what makes people sort of tick and stuff like that. So in my opinion, anyway.
I love that part.
Yeah.
It's so cool. There's something to be said about how the mind works, and then how you can convince people to buy things.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying, I mean, that's what I'm in it for. I mean, granted, it's kind of cool to get from point zero of them not being interested in a product to, you know, them eventually being not even just interested in a product but wanting to buy it, because there's so many things in the world that people get marketed those things, and then eventually they want them, but they didn't think they needed them in the first place.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's unreal. Yeah.
I had to move my light right there, guys. Sorry, I don't usually do that, but you know what? I just don't feel like cutting that out. I feel like being candid about this is better. I'm a real person, guys. I'm not perfect. I didn't put the light facing me for some reason because I'm a genius.
Oh, we all know that, Demetri. We all know that.
Yes. Yeah. Well, getting more into the actual topics of this video without me randomly talking like an idiot, I want to ask you why you started making videos, because I think everyone has their own unique story behind that, and I'm sure yours is as riveting as accounting. Just kidding. Actually, more riveting than accounting. All right.
You pre-wrote that, definitely.
Yeah.
Got you there. So I got into YouTube because my girlfriend was properly into YouTube, so she'd be watching like the big English sort of vloggers, etc. Mainly like fashion sort of stuff. But I sort of didn't really know what it was. I didn't really know what YouTubers did. Like, I didn't know people could make money from it. And this is only 2 or 3 years ago. And then I basically started watching. I started just dipping my toes in and sort of watched Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, all these sort of like camera photographer sort of travelers, etc. And just got completely hooked. And because I was still in uni, we didn't really have that opportunity to go traveling, etc. And I wasn't sure if I would actually be any good at doing that sort of stuff. So I got hooked on that, and then I was like, oh, I really want to make a channel, but I don't really know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know if anyone will actually find me interesting, etc., etc. So I was contemplating doing sort of a Anthony Fantano style English version of that sort of music stuff, but I just realised I didn't have enough knowledge. Well, I probably could have done it, but I didn't feel like I had enough knowledge on that particular subject to sort of provide any value. And considering I did accounting and finance, I sort of knew that I had a bit of a step up in compared to some people, a bit more knowledge about finance and investing and stuff like that. So I finally did it just under a year ago. Put my first video out. Very bad. But I just wanted to put one out so that I could sort of say that I've done it, and then I could sort of get on with it from there. And that's what I did. So now we're here.
Yeah. And now we're here both at over 1,000 subs, and in less than a year, or you just said less than a year. Yeah. And that's really good for anybody. I think, it may have taken a little while to get some momentum going, but that's something that's I've noticed as a trend for a lot of the people I've had on the show. For example, Danny Hatcher, who was on 3 weeks ago. I can't really tell because I'm recording a couple episodes ahead, so I'd have to think pretty hard. I think it
was last week, isn't it?
Yeah, he was last week, but that's episode 10, and this is episode 14. All right, so a month ago. All right, well, maybe this podcast's blown up by then. Maybe you and I both have like 20,000 subs. Who knows? Honestly, a lot can happen. A lot can happen in a month.
That is true.
But he was on, and he had made videos for like a year before he found what he was doing and found what was right, and found like the SEO hacks for Notion videos in order to grow. And that's something that's interesting. We hadn't planned about talking on this topic, but I'm curious what you think about, as you're going through the YouTube process of learning things. I know for me, this go around for YouTube has been a lot more successful because I had like a big infrastructure of videos I made beforehand. There's like something to be said about being in front of the camera is like step one. Everyone struggles to be in front of the camera at the start of YouTube.
Yeah.
And then step two is kind of like the editing process. Even just like basic cutting, like bits off.
Yeah, you can definitely get that wrong, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
As easy as it can look, like it's actually not that easy.
Yeah.
To make it smooth and like sort of flow. Yeah, I found that.
Not only just that, or actually just that in the beginning, but then like later on you have to figure out like pacing and proper use of music and that kind of stuff. But just in the beginning, editing, and then on top of that, audio, all these different things that you kind of have to learn as a skill as you go on and on and on. And making videos, and I'm sure throughout this whole year you've learned different things to be more engaging with your audience. You've learned your audience more and more, and as your audience gets larger, you are getting better in your content creation, but also your content placement. And what I mean by that is like you've made some really great videos that have went off regarding how many views they've gotten in comparison to your audience size, and that's something that I'm currently trying to learn. I know when I came in this time around, I understood how audio quality worked. I understood how being in front of the camera worked. I understood how editing worked because I had freelanced on that for a while. Yeah. But I'm still learning like SEO regarding YouTube. I'm learning that you have to like word the titles a certain way, and you have to make sure that the content can be mildly evergreen so that it just doesn't trail off when you stop making, or when the lifespan of the original post is gone. Yeah. And even when I started the second time, I didn't really get lighting when I first made videos when I was in high school. So like this time around, like I have the cognizant understanding of lighting, and it's always interesting to see how people have grown in their YouTube journey. Is there anything you've noticed within the last few months when you've started to take off? Is there anything you've noticed that you've kind of improved on, or you've specifically tried to improve on?
So obviously it's a bit of a unique situation for me, because obviously as the market crashed in March, a lot more people were looking to invest. So I think that's definitely something that's sort of impacted my growth, because everyone's looking to invest a bit of money, because people were still getting paid to basically sit at home and stuff like that. So a lot of people had a bit of spare cash and they weren't spending any money for 2 months. So a lot of people were sort of looking to invest. I think that's one of the parts that's sort of expanded my growth. But I was trying to focus on sort of like getting my videos sort of snappy and to the point quite quickly. So the one that's actually popped off is really like short, sharp, quick information, and then there was a bit of like trade off at the end just to sort of drag it out a little bit. But people were still interested in that to see what I'd done. And once you get them in, you can sort of hopefully drag them out, or like hopefully sort of entice them to keep watching, basically.
Yeah, you're like giving them the main point without giving away the entirety of it, so you can drag it out a bit more.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. And also I think that the topic, so basically the one that sort of blew up for my channel, that's literally on the 1st of June, it didn't actually go very quickly to start with. It was like one of my 4th highest, when you have the top 10 sort of thing. On YouTube. Yeah, it was like one of the 4th highest. So I was like, okay, it's gonna hopefully do okay. And then after 2 days, it got to like 1,000 views, and I think now it's sitting on just under 17k, which is quite good, and pretty much 80% of views are from like one of the keywords. So I think that's just one of the things you have to consider. But I've used that keyword in plenty of my other videos, and they've not gone off. But I don't know. It's a weird world, and I still, although that's gone off, I still really don't know the actual formula for success.
I don't know if anybody knows the exact SEO formula. There's a couple of videos where I think those guys have it kind of figured out. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mr. Beast got it figured out. Yeah. He's the best regarding his every single video he makes goes viral, which is just absolutely impossible to anybody else.
Yeah, everything's viral for him now, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
The 40 million or something subs or whatever.
God, that was a good little riff you just went on, because there's so many things I could unpack there. There's a couple things. First, I heard click-through rate's really important to make sure videos go off eventually. And I don't know what your click-through rate is, but I'm averaging like, when videos first start, I'm at like 15%, and then it goes down to like 10-ish. And it was funny because when my vlog came out, the technology dependence one, it said like 11%, and then it had a down arrow saying it was like low click-through rate, and I just started laughing to myself. I was like, that's actually hilarious, because like I think for a lot of people that's a decent click-through rate, because I know the average is anywhere from like 3 to 10%, and I'm just like here on the high end of the average, and it says like bad, and I'm like, I guess my thumbnails don't suck. That's good.
No, you have good thumbnails, to be fair.
Thanks.
I do like them.
I think there's something to be said about the fact that I don't put text in it anymore, and it's just like that Machiavelli aesthetic of it being just
100%. Yeah. And obviously you do take pictures rather than like a screenshot, which you can obviously tell. Like you actually like sort of thought of a composition and sort of gone with it.
Yeah,
I think
that's something that is interesting, because I heard some advice from a couple of people regarding you said screenshot, but that kind of messed up my head, but I know what you're saying now.
Sorry. What word do you use?
I don't know. Screenshot for me would be like doing it on your phone, and I would say like
a screen grab or something.
Yeah, right? I guess. Yeah, no, it's the same thing. I just that makes sense. For me, I've heard good things about when you have like the person in the foreground of the and the depth of field is really good in a thumbnail. It helps a lot with click-through rate, because it's like if
it pops out.
Mm-hmm. And I do some mild editing on my thumbnails to like help enhance that. I sharpen it a bit. I make the background more blurred. I make sure I'm more in the center of the frame when I like tweak where I was in the shot. And even in the I Quit Caffeine video, which did pretty well, that had like a bit of where my window is in my by my kitchen. Like I took that shot on my kitchen table, and it was like aiming up towards me, and then there was like a bit of like a door frame kind of next to me, and actually like I'm forgetting the word, masked the door frame out and just made it look like the rest of the wall, because that would help me being more in the foreground. So those kind of little things, adding a vignette, that kind of stuff.
So it seems to be working. So
it's fun.
My click-through rate is around 10%.
Nice.
So, but the one that went off was like 33% or something.
Wow!
Like when I was like, what? Which is absolute madness. So
you never know what it is sometimes, but I can appreciate when the video does well and you weren't expecting it. I know how you said like the thing with the one video was meh during the first couple days. Then the next thing I want to unpack is the concept of. I'm trying to think of a word. I'm trying to invent a word right now. Analytics inflation. There we go. Analytics inflation. I'm making up a word right now, guys. But when you're making YouTube videos and you're starting out and your analytics are at a certain point of a video of like, you know how the rankings are 1 through 10, like you were just saying.
Yeah.
For me, not only the 1 through 10 rankings, but the amount of comments and the amount of likes I'm getting are starting to get desensitized in comparison to what I used to get. And that's kind of weird. Like my expectations inflation. My expectations are going up, even though they are like this one vlog I put out yesterday. I was like, dang it, it's like 6th place or it was like 8th place at the start, and then like it's caught up to like 5th. And on top of that, I was like, what? I only have like 150, or I only had like 150 comments by the time I went to bed, and I was like, what? I was like, dang it. Because I was getting 400 for like 3 or 4 videos in a row, which means I just had 3 or 4 really good videos. And then I thought about it. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. Like, what are you complaining about? You were getting like 30 comments for like the first 2 months of you making videos, dude, with replies. Like, stop. Just stop being upset. Or I wasn't upset. It was just more like my expectations were
bummed.
And even on Sunday's video that I made, the one about the 3 tools to maximize your productivity. I had like 40 likes by the time I went to bed, and I was like, what? And I was like, wait a second. Later on this week, then the vlog had like 60 something by the time I went to bed, and I was like, all right, you got to stop being upset about these like random little things that come up.
100%.
It's so hard, and I don't want to know. I personally, for me, do not want to know what it's like to have that feeling when one of my videos inevitably ends up having good search or good like going semi-viral or something, because that'll probably accidentally happen at some point. So I haven't had that. You've had a couple of those. A lot of the guests I've had on have had a couple of those. I'm sure you know Greg Talks Money. Have you seen his channel, Greg?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'm gonna have he's gonna be on episode 12 of the podcast, and that hasn't come out yet. But like, we were talking to the podcast, and he was at around 500 subs. Then next thing you know, he's at like 900 almost, because of a couple of videos popping off. So me, with like my expectations on that kind of stuff, I'm not sure how it's gonna go. Granted, a lot of those ones that pop off, from what I've noticed, don't have that much more engagement. Am I right on that?
In what, in terms of comments and
like comments and stuff.
Well, I think my video's on like 500 likes.
Okay, so the likes I figured would go up.
It's not, but it's not like, and it's got
proportional
fair few comments as well. But obviously, I think because it's like a topic where people just watch, they might not be like proper into YouTube. So it's more, that's the thing. It's like they just watch and then go on to the next like video that's sort of related to it.
Fair,
but it does help when people actually like consistently on YouTube, so they see that there's a video sort of popping off and they'll just watch that because they know that it must be good if it's got that many views. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, no, I totally get that. I think like when you have videos like that, it's not a proportional increase in engagement, and what I mean by engagement is comments and likes. It's not the same proportionally than your normal audience, because your normal audience is always trying to help you out and always trying to comment and like and stuff.
100%. Yeah.
So you got 17,000 views, 500 likes. I'm sure you would probably have like 500 views on a normal video that doesn't pop off, and I'm sure you'll have like 80-ish likes. I'm not sure. That's just a guess.
I wouldn't say that. No, probably not.
Less or more?
Less, I think.
Okay.
The ones that have got like 1,000 views, probably like 75 and above likes.
Okay.
But I don't really pay attention too much. I just sort of try and just keep on with my content and just keep
that's
consistent.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just am having a weird sensation that's happening in my own head when I look at it. I'm like, where was this at comparison to previous videos for likes and comments? Just as like a gauge, because I haven't had anything that's really taken off as much as some other people, but I'm like happy with the consistent community, and I think that's my favorite part about it. You know, like the people constantly in the comment section being like, this was a cool topic. I'm starting to have like actual real conversations with some of the people watching my videos, and that's something that's cool. I
think that's the positive. That's the longevity of your sort of method, and hopefully your channel will be a bit more long and community based, and mine hopefully will eventually get to that point, but at the moment I think it's sort of at a place where it's got a lot of views and people may have subscribed through that thing, but I don't know how like consistently they'll keep coming back, but I suppose we'll see.
I guess maybe I'd be okay with like the trajectory of just consistent community building, because that's probably more fun to have like a group of people that are engaged with the content. And I'm sure in the long term, you know, you see people like Matt Diavella or Thomas Frank or Ali Abdal or Graham Stephan. Graham Stephan's engagement is insane.
Yeah.
Him and Matt Diavella, like you refresh the page when a video drops and it has 100 comments.
Yeah.
And you just go, oh, dude. Oh. What?
Lots of post notifications on there.
Oh yeah, man. The notification bell is it. I'm really a fan of the notification system, because that seems to be something that reminds me to watch videos a little bit more, because when I was younger, and you know, subscriber feeds for a while just didn't work well on YouTube before they implemented the notification bell system.
Yeah
it wasn't fun.
Oh, okay. I don't think I had experience of that, to be fair, because it's probably quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, they had issues with stuff being in people's sub boxes, is what they called it for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But now you can just scroll through your subscriptions and you see everything. I don't know how they managed to have that issue. It's actually kind of sad. I mean, like, it was owned by Google for a while, and they were having issues. So, yeah. YouTube, man. It's a game. No, just kidding. It's a very fun time. I think one of your topics that I like to hear a lot about, and I want to have a discussion about, because I haven't made videos on this topic, but like dividend investing and investing in general, I think it's interesting that there's like this trend of dividend investing advice, like trying to get people to specifically buy dividends for the purposes of getting I'm trying to think of the word passive income. And I'm just like, I'm over here like, like it's a good part of your portfolio to have, but I'm not really sure that's the end all be all. You don't want to just have dividend stocks because companies can take those away. As we've seen recently, there are a lot of companies that have had to decrease dividends. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that and investing in general.
So I agree. I think sort of Andre Jick is sort of the leader of the dividend sort of investing strategy. And that's sort of where I got it from, to be fair. But I have been watching and reading a lot about Warren Buffett, and although he doesn't sort of state it, I know that he is a dividend investor, because he uses obviously the capital that he gets from the dividends to invest where else. And obviously Coca-Cola is one of these that he's been invested in for the last, how old is he? 104? For the last 80 years or whatever. And obviously he's getting paid every year, isn't it? Or something like that. No, every quarter. It's Disney that's the yearly dividend. Anyway, so he uses that sort of strategy, and I think that's why he's been so successful, because if he wants to keep that cash around, then he can. And if not, he can just reinvest it. And obviously, if you look at his sort of graph of his income, it's just absolutely incredible. Or net worth, I mean. But yeah, that's just my that's where I sort of got it from, to be fair.
Okay. Well, I didn't actually know that he did that. And if he hasn't openly said it, that's okay.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. He's never really said that he does that, but I can't see that he would have enough. Well, he obviously makes a lot of money, but I think that's the way he sort of focuses doing it. And he has got some growth stocks as well, but I think that's his sort of main thing without it being his main thing.
Got it. I think having a good diversified portfolio is good overall, though. I think some index funds, some growth stocks that are something you can be confident in, and some dividend stocks that have good growth potential as well. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, those companies are ones that in tech right now, tech's going to do really well for a while. I don't really have any doubts about the tech response to the beer thing, because it's kind of hard for me to expect other companies to be able to navigate this situation as well as tech companies.
Yeah.
Because they have this leg up regarding their infrastructure, the way that they can operate, because they are, inherently they're a tech company. A car company can't change the way that they're acting in this situation as well as a tech company can. Microsoft closes its stores and you go, okay, that's possible. Ford closes its factories, okay, that's not possible. So for those of you that don't know, cameras, for some reason, have these limits on them to only shoot for a certain amount in a row, and then you just have to press a button again. What's your camera? What do you shoot with?
A Canon EOS M6 Mark II.
Two? All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. It's a classic.
It's like just a slight upgrade to the M50. But
okay.
Yeah.
I've been debating on getting a real camera at some point. Yeah. The classic, wow, you don't look like you have an iPhone recording. It's starting to get to be like, I don't know. I notice it,
Yeah. I think it's just like there's some sort of, I think it's just the sort of like the bokeh that you can sort of tell, can't you? And the depth of field, you can tell that's the difference. But
it's so aesthetic to look at a real nice camera, and it's got great aperture, so the lighting is flooding in even if there's not that much light.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like smashing light in my face right now. Thank God LEDs exist, or else I'd be sweating bullets. Yeah, that ain't it.
Yeah, I'm purely, we've just got the window open, so I think hopefully it looks okay.
No, it looks pretty good. I think natural light's the way to go a lot of the time.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely.
It's just
You in the basement? Is that where you?
Oh yeah, I'm in the basement, living in the parents' basement. That's why I'm so successful. Just kidding. No, yeah, it's hard to get natural light when you're down here. But
yeah, I can
when I'm
imagine.
in my vlogs and stuff, that's really where the iPhone shines, probably because of the
100%,
natural light, and it looks like the depth of field sometimes really good. And I'm like, well, maybe I'd only vlog outside. I'll just become Casey Neistat.
Yeah.
I'll just vlog every day, and I'll make my thumbnails mildly ambiguous as to what it's about, and then one of them will pop off. And then also I run all the time, so basically the same person.
Yeah, you just need a skateboard and you're done.
I need a skateboard and I need the sunglasses. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate sunglasses though. I can't wear sunglasses, and it's probably gonna not be a thing for the rest of my life regarding me not wearing them. I'm gonna end up having to wear them once my eyes say, "All right, buddy, you're old," but just for now, I can't stand wearing sunglasses, and I can't stand wearing hats.
No, that's fair enough. Yeah, we don't get much sun, so I don't have too much problem with that.
Fair. We don't get much sun in the winter. We get really cold around here. You guys just get rainy all the time, which is rough.
Yeah, it's nice today, to be fair. I did send you that video, didn't I, the other day?
Yeah, you did. That was pretty funny. Yeah, it was just like downpour.
It was like a Florida shower, wasn't it?
It was awful. That was funny to look at. Every single time I've had somebody from the UK on the podcast, it's really nice out, which is just kind of funny.
Yeah, you must be a good.
What am I doing?
Good luck charm. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe it's just good in the UK on Saturdays at noon.
Maybe. Yeah. Don't know.
Speaking of the UK, you know what I've been watching a lot of recently? It's a certain chef.
Oh, Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, man. Oh, I love me some Kitchen Nightmares, dude. That is the funniest thing. That and Hotel Hell and Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
I watched so much of that a couple years ago in college, and then like probably 8 months, I find it again and just go down the YouTube rabbit hole of Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
And I even have it on the background. It's just so funny. I mean, he's just the worst, but the best.
Yeah. Well, he gets the job done, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's just, I just couldn't. I think I'd burst into tears if he shouted at me.
He has this wonderful ability as a person to be the most absolute awful human being when he needs to be, and then the most kind and genuine person when he needs to be too. And I'm like, I could not flip that switch, bro. I'm one way or the other if I'm acting like that with people, because I'd feel guilty about acting that way, but then I'd be like, all right, well, that's what they think of me at this point, so I'm just gonna go full-fledged being mean to him. But no, this guy just flips a switch to certain people. I think it's hilarious how the servers never get any backlash from him, because it's never their fault. It's like the owners.
100%. But that's a good, because I used to be a waiter, and the chefs are just horrible, in my opinion, anyway.
The chefs.
Yeah. Do you not use that?
The chefs? No. I'm just like imagining bad chefs. I don't really know. I have my only experience as a Greek person in America is knowing Greek people that own restaurants that are pretty okay. So I never worked in a restaurant.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. No, it's just they're sort of like people stuck in the wrong place, and they're so angry all the time. Because I think it's mainly stress, to be fair. Yeah. But they just build up, and then you can just see them Gordon Ramsaying, ready to shout at anyone who.
It's raw.
Yeah.
Where's the lamb sauce? I think those are both Hell's Kitchen quotes, though. I think so. Some of his best quotes are probably from Hell's Kitchen, but there's some amazing insults he drops on these owners. He said to one of the Hotel Hell guys that I just watched, he goes, "Are you always this pathetic?" And it's just dang, man. Hit him with it. He's like, "I am not pathetic." He's like, "Really? Really? Okay." So you think?
Oh, that's funny. I like the idiot sandwich one. Have you seen that?
What are you? An idiot sandwich? Oh man,
so funny.
It's just absolute bad manners, but at all times. Or he told some woman to get her let's just say what she carries above the waist and belly off of his hot plates around here. He's like, can you get those off of my hot plates? I can't go with those around. This is so bad. We sent like to one person that they looked more like a dog than he does, and I'm just like, Jesus, man. How did these people not learn though? After years of him being the worst on Hell's Kitchen, to not go up to him in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That's like catfish though as well. Like, how do people still get catfished? After watching one episode of Catfish, I'm like, it's just ridiculous.
That's so true. Actually, that is so accurate.
I know they're evolving. Like, catfish are evolving into new sort of
catfish bots,
next generation catfishes. But it's just you just think like, how can you be that stupid?
Like the Forex scammers, you know, you got CoffeeZilla exposing everybody on the internet, and how are people still falling for these Forex scammers? Because if they're still phishing, that means they're still getting people, or at least they haven't given up yet, or they've recently gotten and haven't given up yet. And I guess Forex scammers would be a good conversation. Have you been exposed to one of these people yet? Have you gotten a comment, or not a comment, a message yet about Forex scammer, or from a Forex scammer?
Yeah, I've had a few on Instagram.
Yeah, that's where they go.
So there's this one guy who lives near where I went to uni, and he was like, you know, there's like, they might not have them in America, but there's like little tiny cars for kids. It's like a red sort of thing and then a yellow top. Have you seen them?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he basically had like a mini smart car, like the same color as that.
Awesome.
And he was doing this Forex trading and doing courses and stuff like this. I didn't get scammed or go near him because I knew that this is all a bit of a lie, but he seemed to be doing quite well. But you never know what's the truth on Instagram, do you? So
no, you really don't.
And then I've had a few like old blokes sort of message me, like they must be like in their 60s, just message it, and they just go, "Hey," and you're just like, "You know what, mate?" And then cause I like to respond because it's just funny.
I get the weirdest scammers on LinkedIn message me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is the wrong platform to scam people on, by the way.
Yeah, because no one's going to be sort of taking any stuff.
Yeah, they think that people are going to be overly friendly on LinkedIn. It's like, yeah, you usually are, but that doesn't mean we're going to be overly stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, most of the people on LinkedIn are fairly switched on, I think, personally. But you never know. Yeah, there's always silly people around, but
those Forex scammers though, I get messages from them on Instagram, and I kind of just want to make a video exposing the Forex scammers at some point. Like I'll make another account, right, and message them and be like, "So I hear you're one of the best in the game. Can you please help me? I have inherited $100 million from my grandmother.
Yeah, can you help me turn this into $1 billion?"
Yeah, just say, "I want you to invest this $10 million for me right now."
Yeah,
and then they'll if they tell you to slow down, I'll laugh so hard. It's like, slow down. Like, I don't want to take all your money at once. I mean, slow down. You don't want to put everything in the market at once.
That's what they do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
They'll make you feel guilty for giving too much money, and then they'll sort of be like, "Oh," and then it's a weird reverse
psychology.
Reverse psychology. Yeah,
if that's probably not the proper use of the term, but I don't know.
No, but I think I know what you mean. They're just like, "Oh, I don't want to take your money. It's fine." And then you'll be like, "No, but you said you're doing a really good job." And
if you're doing so well, take all my money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you won't mess up, right? Well,
right.
Like I know I'm scamming you, but I'd feel guilty about scamming you all at once.
Yeah.
That's some that's some weird logic in their head, you know. Like
100%. Yeah.
How are you gonna feel less guilty about taking multiple installments of like $1,200
than just one installment? Yeah.
Of like $10,000 or something. Like, come on, man. Like, you're doing the same stuff. What do you think, they're making that money in the time that you're like prolonging it? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. This is the weird thing. Like I see all these courses for like real estate.
$9.97.
Yeah, I don't understand how you could spend that much money like on a course, like 10 grand on a course. Like, there's so much information out there for free that you can get, and some people just want that sort of quick fix, and they're taken in by the sort of the marketing genius. But I thought life's hard, and 10 grand is a lot of money.
Yeah, I think that the online course business has some bad things to it. I think the Skillshare course area is probably the way to go for the most part. You know, you got like a subscription. It's like Netflix for quality courses. Yeah.
But for learning, and that's not binging your life away.
That's a great thing. But then you got these teachable courses where people just make their own and set their own price, and then you just say, okay, well, is this worth it? There are some courses that are worth it, and it gives you a lot of information in a concise manner. But like anything over like $50, it's like, I don't know, man. Read a book. A book is like $20 and have so much information in it. Like
100%,
That's just not it. Like courses on affiliate marketing. That makes me laugh because it's like
because they're making money off your
if you have a presence, then you should look into affiliate marketing.
Yeah.
Because then you can monetize.
Or while you're building it.
While you're building it. Yeah. Like, I'm not sure where I'll go in that route, but I know exactly how affiliate marketing works. It's fairly basic. You monetize 100%. Your own likeness and brand through different products that are mildly in correlation with what you're doing. And you do it in a tasteful manner while also putting it in front of your audience's face enough where they'll buy it. And then, or links as well where they can sign up for things. And then you make a fairly decent amount of money off of that. You don't base your whole concept of creation off of affiliate marketing, because then that's just kind of like, I don't know. That's just disingenuous.
Yeah. No, I think when you're first, I know what you mean. Like there's some things that, or some people that would purely do like every video will be something to promote rather than actually helping people. But I suppose if you're trying to make a living, like for example, like a tech YouTuber, like there's a bit of a difference. Do you know what I mean?
That's fair. That is fair.
If you're giving like a proper good review of say this camera, because I've been watching loads of reviews because I only bought this a couple of weeks ago. So I've been watching loads of reviews. I didn't actually use an affiliate link, but it's just only because I had like a discount code, which is good.
Nice.
But it's just one of those things. I think it definitely helps them, especially if they've done a good job of reviewing it. But also, you know what I mean? It depends, doesn't it?
Oh, it totally does. I'm saying like people who are starting their channel off in the beginning with the entire purpose of making money. Affiliate money off of it, or money in general. It's like, that just comes off mildly disingenuous, because it's like, I get that maybe could be a long-term goal. I think for a lot of people making videos, it's a long-term goal. But if you're going in with it like the sales guy mentality, it just, I don't know, it just rubs me the wrong way. Just a little. Yeah. Just a little.
Yeah. I think you've got, there's pushy, isn't there? There's too pushy, and there's sort of people that push. They'll be like, the first like minute of their video will be like, make sure you click in the link. And I've admittedly done that, and I do affiliate marketing, but I'm trying to offer the value before I actually do it, and not push like saying you must do this now. I'm just saying if you fancy it, go click in the link, and it really helps your channel out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is quite good, because if you do want to build like a audience and some income, then you have to tell people, because a lot of people don't actually know, which is you've got to educate them, don't you? So
of course. And I think a lot of that, like me saying it's like mildly disingenuous, is coming from a place of, I think if you come at people with a bunch of free value in a row, just throw free value at them nonstop, and then eventually you kind of monetize, it's so much more tasteful. It's so much more tasteful, and you'll probably make more money. But when you try to sell at the beginning, just from what I've learned in marketing and from people who have talked about it to me before, like when you come with a lot of free value and a lot of free information, and then you switch to the mildly salesy approach, then they feel, I don't want to say guilty, but they feel obligated to help you out.
Even to have a look, or just even to have a look, Because that's what I think it's Gary Vaynerchuk who does the, I think it's 10 to 1, I think, is it? Where he would say you put out 10 valuable pieces of content that people like, and then you put one one thing promoting what you want to promote, or one affiliate link or something like that.
Exactly.
And then you've given them enough value that they can actually use that in their life, and then hopefully
you can get some back.
Yeah. But even if 10% of your audience did that, then you could be making a decent sort of income, couldn't you? Depending on what the product is, of course. But
there's a rule I think Graham Stephan had in his YouTube course that was about, I think if you have like 1,000, He did one, yep.
But did you do a course?
So
is that what you said?
Graham Stephan's course.
Oh, okay. On YouTube?
He had one on Teachable. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
There's a way to get courses online for a very discounted price.
Link in the description. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm not going to promote it at all, but I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
I was informed about it. And anyways, I have seen the courses of Graham Stephan's stuff. Don't know how. It happened to be in my hard drive on my computer. So the thing is, in his course, he talks a lot about, like, if you have a specific audience and you can monetize them, like, you only need like 1,000 real fans, I think he said. Like 1,000 real
true
ones.
fans, yeah.
True fans or something. He's like,
I
he
really
showed
like
this
that
like
theory.
weird circle chart thing where it was like each, like the big ones, like it was like a multiple layered circle. In the middle was like your core fans, and then it got to be less and less core, right? And if only 1,000 of them are your fans and your true fans, like you can make a living off of.
100%. Yeah.
Because even like Matt Diavella, like his Patreon, he has 1,437 followers on Patreon, so 1,430 or something like that.
When did you look at that?
Like 2 days ago. That's why I know the number. But don't judge me. He might have less, might have more now. But he has the $4 tier and the $12 tier. And from some math I did, let's say 80% of them are at the $4 tier and 20% of them are at the $12 tier.
Yeah, there's probably more, to be fair, because he's.
Yeah, it's probably more at the 12 because he's got such a great fan base.
Quality, yeah.
And
but
essentially,
anyway, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. He's making around like, basically, if you do some guesstimation on his Patreon, he makes anywhere from on the low end 60 to the high end like 120 grand a year, minus the 5%. So like, let's say 50 to 100 a year, because Patreon takes a cut. So like, that's 1,400 fans right there, and he's making more than enough to make a living just off of 100%. Patreon.
Yeah.
Just off of Patreon, not even the ads, because he did start implementing ads about a year ago after he was very adamant to not have ads. And then he also has sponsors, and he has, I don't know if he makes money off of his, I don't think he has a blog. He just has like his Matt Diavella website. So no ads there. But he's got multiple streams of income. He's got sponsors. He's got ads on his YouTube channel. He's got Patreon. And then all you need is like a true 1,000 fans though. And then you're pretty much A-okay.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
That's it, yeah. I have got a Patreon, but I haven't got anyone on there yet.
Oh, you do make, do you make Patreon content though? Or have you like put out anything?
Not yet.
You just,
because I wanted to sort of gauge whether anyone would actually find any value in it and what value I could provide before actually doing it. Because I don't really know what my audience would want to see additionally. But the way Andre Jick does it, he's got like a spreadsheet.
For the stocks, right?
Yeah, so potentially that could be something that I look into. Because it would be a good way to sort of add value and make a bit of income to sort of start this or leave my job.
I've thought about Patreon as well. I think, as much as I was joking about the numbers of comments and stuff earlier and like, oh, I'm upset. I'm not really. It's just like, I think for the amount of views I get, I kind of get a ridiculous amount of comments. And it's something that makes me think that I'm engaging the audience well enough to want to communicate with me. And that means they probably want to talk to me more. So I have considered the concept of AMAs, like asking me things. And Matt does that on his Patreon. His two tiers are, the $4 tier is just an audio version of his AMA. And then a $12 version has the video version as well as behind the scenes videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, as much as I take inspiration from him. I wouldn't want to directly copy him, but that's like, honestly, considering the way my audience acts, if I had to make a Patreon, like at this moment, if someone told me you got to do it right now, you're never going to be able to do it, I would probably go down that route and try to tweak some things. But like, I'm just not sure. You know, I don't know what the right point is to start a Patreon or make a Skillshare course, because I've always wanted to do that for productivity, but I always wanted to make sure my audience was at a decent enough point where I could get traction onto it from YouTube.
Yeah. But I don't know, I don't know how much like organic sort of growth you'd be able to get from doing a course, do you know, on their platform. Do you know what I mean?
Skillshare, yeah. I think it's kind of hard. I'd have to make a productivity course that's, I don't know, I'd have to figure out what it means to rank well search-wise in Skillshare. Yeah. And I think having an audience in general from YouTube
would help.
Is like the real first step. I'd probably say if I reach around 10K subs at any point next year, I'll probably like think about doing it next summer. Just grind it out in like a weekend, because honestly, that's all it takes. Like, you just plan it out, and then in a month total, you'll probably have a Skillshare course. Yeah. Of just like side work of recording the videos in big batches, and I'd have to think about what kind of production value I'd want and all those sort of things, because I don't think I'd be able to do the same type of format as my formal videos, you know, with like B-roll and stuff. I feel like
that's what I was thinking. I don't know. I've never actually taken one. Does anyone do that sort of thing?
Thomas Frank did when he did his.
Oh, okay, because
he made a new one that was like
maybe that would maybe differentiate yourself from like a sort of sit down tutorial type. But I don't know if that would be something that people would enjoy. Who knows?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Skillshare and the way they pay people is interesting. Have you ever heard the pay method for that? They have a bunch of premium users, right? And the way that they divvy out money is they calculate, or they add up all the total premium watch time minutes on their platform.
Oh, okay.
And then however many premium minutes out of this big pot you get is the percentage of money you make from like Skillshare's giant pot that they divvy out every month or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
So
it's like literally a meritocracy.
Yeah, so it's completely different to sort of YouTube, where it's based on views.
Yeah, because there's no ads, but it's based on watch minutes in Skillshare that are premium users.
Oh, okay.
And imagine the Skillshare gets 1 million watch minutes and you get 100,000, you get 10% of the pot. Like that sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Geez. Yeah, you can make a lot of money then, I suppose.
It is actually probably one of the more good things to do for somebody who has like a channel in the productivity niche and stuff like that, or the creative niche, because it's so much more tasteful to, one, get people to sign up with your affiliate link for Skillshare, because it's like $10 a month and it's like whatever. And in comparison, you got people who are asking for their one course, $9.97, and you're like, why?
Well, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah,
makes no sense.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I use Audible, which is my main subscription thing, and I think it's just so good. Like, for the amount of value you can get, even on like the lowest level, one book a month. Like, I don't often finish a book in a month, but if you did, you could easily just whack up another $5 for you, and then have an extra couple of books. And there's so much content on there; it's ridiculous.
I'm such a value buy guy, so when people ask me to put all my theoretical spending money into one course basket, I'm like, you are crazy.
100%, yeah.
Because the people with probably the right mindset to make your coursework are probably the similar people who think about value buying and stuff like that. So you're selling to people who aren't probably thinking right about it.
Yeah.
Which says
that's
something.
The thing. Yeah, I couldn't imagine spending that much money on a course. Just, it would eat me up inside, especially if it was rubbish.
Oh yeah, dude, could you imagine that? No refund policy for a lot of these things, or 30-day refund policies for things that have stipulations. If you watch a certain amount of the course, you can't return it.
Yeah.
Well, the only way that people get their money back is credit card disputes.
Yeah. I suppose, but that's just a hassle, isn't it? I just prefer not to do it. Just put in the work and read a book or watch 7,000 YouTube videos on your channel or my channel.
Oh yeah. Just press play and don't stop. It's weird though. I have dude, I was looking at it, and by the time this video comes out, I'm guessing I'll be at 55 videos. But I was looking at it the other day, and I was like, man. Well, I can't do math. Probably 51. It's probably 51 or 50. I was like, how do I have this many videos? It's only been 3 months, but then you look back and you just go, whoa,
what was this? I done? Yeah. Wow, you have 50 videos.
Yeah, right now I think when this comes out, I'll have I'll have 50 in 2 weeks. But I think I'm at 42 right now.
Wow, I think I'm only on 24.
You're only at 20. Oh wow.
Yeah.
There's somebody who comments on most of my posts, and I was like, or they said, I call you Mr. Consistency, and I was like, oh, that's nice. Thank you.
That's good. Yeah. That's a nice compliment to get.
Yeah, because I realized I put out 3 videos a week since the second week I made my channel. So,
when did you start?
March 17th, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so 3 videos a week since March 17th. Nonstop, always the same 3.
Yeah, that is some proper work, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of backlogging for the fall semester. I'm gonna try to figure out every video topic, and then on top of that, every every podcast guest for the entirety of the time I'm in school, as well as having about 10-ish formal videos backlogged.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's gonna be some. When do you have to go back?
I go back the second week in August.
Oh, because it's fairly soon then.
Yeah, dude. Oh God, no. I have to go. Oh God, wait, I don't have time. Oh, I'm stressing so much. No. Oh.
Sorry, mate.
Oh God.
That's funny.
Yeah. I'm waking up every day and just grinding the stuff out. I recorded. Today is a Saturday. I recorded on because I had a bit of a 4th of July getaway in the city.
Yeah.
Sorry, we won, by the way. That's so bad. I texted this guy on the 4th. He told me happy. He basically said have a good celebration today, and I hit him with the sorry we won. And he was like, I guess I'll forgive you. It was so stupid. I'm like, why are you saying that, Demetri? That's just so dumb.
That's funny.
But yeah, I've recorded from Tuesday, Wednesday. I've recorded on Tuesday, Wednesday. So those are 2 vlogs in a row. Then Thursday I did a podcast. Friday I recorded 2 formal videos, and then today is Saturday. So I've recorded 7 or no, this will be. Wait,
math is math.
Math? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's a lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. How do you store your files and stuff? Do you got 17 hard drives or something, or?
I have a work solid state drive with 500 gigs, and then I have a big data file hard drive with a gig on it, and then I have an external hard drive with another gig on it, and I'm only using right now
1 gig.
Gigabyte.
1 gig or
sorry, terabyte. Jesus, 1,000.
I was gonna say how are you recording?
He's got 1 gigabyte of storage. God, Demetri. No, I
know it's only for you.
Yeah, 500 gigabytes, and then 1 terabyte, and then another terabyte. So I have 2.5 terabytes to work with. And what I do is I go through a process every 3 weeks of taking files from my solid state drive and putting it on my normal hard drive, getting rid of any excess footage. And I also use Handbrake to compress the files to about half or 25% of what they used to be, just in case I need to use the old footage. And then eventually what I'm going to start doing is deleting really old videos, once I get closer to not having space. Because I'm really a firm believer that, I want to become a minimalist in a lot more ways than I am. And digitally, having a bunch of old footage is not really going to help. I thought it was funny when Matt DeVilla made the video about him having all these old files and he's a hoarder in that regard. I'm like, I guess he's not a minimalist with everything.
I'm sure, I'm a bit confused. My Mac doesn't have a huge amount of storage, but 2, I just don't see the value in keeping my videos, my old videos. I know like if YouTube went down, then they'd be gone. But to be honest, I don't think I'd reuse that content anyway, because by the time, if that did happen 5 years down the line, I'm hoping that my content would have improved. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
To a point where I'd know a lot more, and I don't know, my camera would be better and everything would be so improved that like footage would be essentially useless.
Yeah.
So that's what so basically I just delete every video that on my laptop after the previous one. So I've only got my previous one and the one I'm currently doing.
I agree with that. I have a OneDrive account, which helps too. I have a terabyte of OneDrive storage. And I put all of my finished and uploaded videos and podcasts there.
On there?
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it'll probably have enough space for about 500 videos. So for some reason, I need to use old footage. It's just a matter of like, the raw footage is, it has no audio over it with like music and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Going back and looking at the finished product and like in a reflection type of video would make maybe more sense than old footage.
Yeah.
Because the only time I've used old footage, I actually blocked out the audio of just my voice. Like it was in the Why Everything Needs to Change video I made a couple months ago when I had like the compilation of me sitting there and talking with A-roll in a bunch of different shirts and and I was making a point of how I never did anything but just talking to the camera. And in retrospect, I could have used the rendered out videos instead. Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. My personal opinion is just I don't need them. I'm not gonna. But I might look back and I could download it off YouTube if I needed to. But
exactly, it comes out in 720, which isn't great though.
Yeah, but they might change that.
True.
Down the line.
And there are other methods to getting videos downloaded that I'm not going to endorse because YouTube doesn't want them to be a thing. So I'm not going to say that. YouTube, please don't think that I want that. No, don't do that. That's bad.
Read the captions.
Yeah. Damn it. Why did I say that so fast? I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I would recommend anybody OneDrive or like Microsoft Personal for the 1 terabyte a year, as well as the Microsoft Word and all that kind of stuff. It's honestly a good platform to have this extra storage for random things. Like I can have all my school files on my computer at home, like my PC, and then my laptop. So it's got the nice little thing there. That's the cloud. The cloud is good for that purpose. So I probably will end up using like maybe Google Drive or something like that. Yeah, that's a good move.
Further down the line, but at the moment I feel like I don't really need to because we're still sort of stuck inside until So, but it's everyone's they're opening gyms and stuff at the end of this month, so everything's sort of going back to normal.
Yeah, and then they'll shut you down again. Sorry.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe they're just trying to get rid of some people.
We're getting spikes here. We're getting a crazy amount of spikes here.
Yeah, they closed down a state, didn't they?
I believe so, yes. So
I don't know which one that was.
I'm just going to make an observation. This is just me. I mean, I'm not a genius. I don't know. I mean, I may not have liked the counting, but I can do math. Yeah. So our death rates have not gone up. Our hospitalization rates have not gone up, but the cases have skyrocketed. Yeah. Now, hear me out. This analogy is something that was given to me by a friend's dad, actually, which is funny. But he said, the stars in the sky existed before we invented the telescope. Once we invented the telescope, however, we were just able to see more of them. That is a good analogy when you compare that to testing. So we're doing more testing. That does not inherently mean that more cases are happening now than used to be. It might just mean that we're seeing more because we have more capacity to test. Yeah, well, that's what Donald Trump said, didn't he? He said we're going to stop doing testing so we don't have any more. Something along the lines of that. Yeah, because as long as people aren't passing away at a higher rate and aren't passing away more numerically in general, because if more people pass away, that's not a good thing. We don't want that, obviously. No. But I'm not even saying proportionally. I'm just saying like number-based. Even if numerically we're having the same amount of people passing away as we were a couple months ago, it's actually kind of less. That means that we're just testing more people who had mild symptoms or were asymptomatic. And it's like, I mean, we can't live in fear forever, guys. I don't know.
No.
Like, if everyone secretly had it the whole time, doesn't that mean it's not that big of a deal?
Yeah.
If everyone had it and didn't know,
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I don't know.
it's hard.
But it's a weird one. I think everyone, especially here, is sort of like it's not really a thing anymore. Like,
Yeah.
no one's really paying attention to staying away from people and stuff like that. I'm sort of in a different boat because I've actually got like a lung disease or lung condition.
You do.
Yeah, so I need to be very careful. Hence why I'm staying in a bit more, and I'll go for runs and stuff because I can avoid people. But
Yeah.
I don't want to get it because I may not end well.
Yeah,
well.
no, I totally get it for people
So-
who have underlying medical conditions. That's
Yeah.
something I want to get across, by the way. Like, if you are older or if you are in a demographic that has an underlying medical condition, it makes sense to quarantine and stuff. It's just for me,
100%,
like
yeah.
healthy people who aren't going to be affected by it or have like a
Yeah.
0.02% chance. It's like,
Yeah, you could easily get hit by a car more likely. Do you know what I mean? Like, or a bus, as they
and there's
usually
something to
say.
be said about day-to-day activities helping your immune system be built up. And when we're having people only stay in the same location, their general immune system health isn't as good, which is
Yeah, because
kind of
they're not
stressful.
exposed to more things. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then there's the whole correlation between vitamin D and like the negative impact not being deficient in vitamin D has if you get the beard thing. And it's like, well, we're asking people to stay inside. And
Yeah.
so like the
So,
easiest way to
yeah,
get vitamin
it's
D
counter- is to go outside. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
obviously I take supplements for vitamin D. I think everyone should, but
Yeah.
it's just like, man, it's hard. It's a weird spot. I know you guys were freaked out. This is a good segue to the topic we were planning on about when your prime minister got it. That had to be crazy.
Yeah, that was that was a bit of a weird situation because not obviously there's a big divide of who actually likes our prime minister because he
Yeah.
because he wasn't actually elected. He was just following on, wasn't he? I believe.
Yeah, right.
I can't even remember now. But so there's a big divide about him, but I think everyone was actually scared, like what would actually happen if he did die. And he got pretty close, I think, unfortunately, but he came out at the other end, which is good. And then had a baby.
Oh, he
with
did
his,
afterwards? Oh, wow.
Yeah. With his mistress, which was funny. Yeah.
It's got to be
bloke,
weird,
but-
though. Like, even if you don't like him, conceptually, having a leader be lost at that time is the least ideal thing.
Yeah, well, I think it would have ended in pandemonium. Like, everyone would have been freaking out, and it would have just been a very weird sort of place. Because then it makes it real, doesn't it? Because they were basically at the time they were doing like daily updates. So he'd be on the telly at 4:00 every night. I assume it's the same over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he wasn't there anymore, and it's just like, oh dear, what's going to happen? Like, do we trust these other people to sort of get us out of this? Are we all going to die? Like, it would have been
scary.
Would have been a very strange situation.
What is the replacement process for a prime minister like in the UK?
I think it's just the vice prime minister.
Is there? I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not sure the hierarchy. So you guys have a vice minister sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what their official title is, but I think they would just fill in. I think a guy did fill in when he was ill, but I'm not overly into politics, to be fair.
Fair.
But,
Fair.
Yeah, to try and get on with my own life.
What we can control within our own houses is more important than what they do in the big,
Exactly,
capitals of the countries.
Yeah, 100%.
But what we can control is mildly affected by the way the governments have certain things set up, like college loans. I talked with you about this beforehand, and man, you guys have a. Man,
Sweet
do I want to
deal.
say better? Am I outing myself as like not liking? I mean, I've been obvious about how much I don't like the college system. I've been going to make a video on it beforehand, but like, man, it is crazy how well you guys I think have college figured out. I don't know if your opinion is, but go.
Yeah. Well, speaking on that, apparently there's a few universities that may be going under because they can't afford to sort of keep on because of this whole pandemic thing,
Yeah.
which is an interesting thing. But yeah, in terms of like the student loan system, it's a lot better in comparison. Like we have, I see it as more of a tax. So we basically we get our student loan, and after 3 years, the only way you pay it back is if you're earning over £25,000 a year. And currently I'm not, which is good. So I'm not actually paying any of it. And I've been out for 2 years. So I just think it just comes out your paycheck if you earn over 25k. I just think that's a much nicer place to be than
It's a lot less stressful.
Debt over your head. So
is it amnestied after a certain age? Is that a thing? You said?
Yeah. So after, I believe, I think so. I didn't actually double check. I said I would, but I didn't.
Darn. It's okay.
But I think after 40 years it gets wiped, because you're not going to be able to pay it back, because I think it's 36k or something ridiculous. But
it's only 30. It's only 36k.
Yeah.
For 4 years of a university, right?
3.
For 3. Yeah, because I know on average you guys are around 10,000 ish per year.
Yeah, just 9,000 when I went. I think some unis have gone up a little bit recently.
Dude, that's so not bad though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I think I missed out by 3 years or something. It was actually $2,000 or $2 or $3,000 a year.
Like that was like pretty much the standard for universities in the UK.
Yeah, and now it's a 9k, and everyone still complains about it, obviously. But I personally just think it's a tax. If you earn over 25k, you won't even see the money come out your account. You just see it on your pay slip slowly go down. But
yeah, it's like you're just learning a little less.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't actually. You never see the money, and it doesn't affect your credit rating. It doesn't affect you buying a house. It doesn't affect you getting a car. So it's not debt like over there.
No, it's not nearly the same. That means there's not interest rates on it either.
There are interest rates on it.
Oh wait,
but
what?
It doesn't.
Oh
yeah, there's interest rates on it, but you don't actually, because it's not. I'm not sure on the actual like in and out detail, but there is interest that you pay on it, but you only pay it obviously if you're over 25k.
Oh, so it's factored in that way. Okay. No, yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah. All right.
So like by now it's probably closer to 38k, maybe something like that. After 2 years, I don't know how it works, but yeah, but it doesn't affect your credit rating, which is obviously a very good thing.
I feel like $10,000 a year-ish is pretty reasonable in comparison, you know? Like over here, we can go to community college, we can pay like 4-ish for 2 years, and then after that, it's like 25 minimum a year.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, you got to understand, especially now during this crazy stuff, like why would people pay that much money? And it's just like, I think schools, they might be put in a spot where they're going to have to change their tuition prices in the United States.
Yeah.
Because if like a whole class of freshmen don't go to college, I think that got to be a whoosh right in the face.
Yeah. I saw this meme where it was it said Netflix $7, what's the other thing? Spotify $7, and then it had Harvard online Zoom or something, $37,000 a year or something.
Yeah, I think they might be discounting their prices a bit. I know a lot of schools are doing like half price for online and that kind of stuff. Which good job. Some aren't. Yeah. Some are claiming that it's the exact same education and it's not the same education, but it costs the same amount to do. And I'm like, yo, that's laughable, man. Like,
yeah, because I suppose they've still got to pay their rent and stuff, but I mean,
whatever. Like, okay, they got these endowments, right? They got these endowments, and people go, oh, but it's tied up because the way the endowment is structured, they were given certain amounts of money to pay for certain things only. And I'm like, yeah, that's like 70% of it. But what's 30% of $1 billion, genius?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you only have like 20,000 kids going to your school, I hope 1 year's tuition isn't everything you got. I don't know. Like they have it tied up in real estate assets and stuff like that they pay every year. That's where a lot of the endowment goes. They literally just put in real estate and they put it in the stock market because that's a way for them to accumulate wealth. And sure, like I guess, but also like the quality of life of the student body should be pretty important during times like these.
100%,
So them taking a hit on the flexible portion of their endowment to me is something that's reasonable. I know there were schools that had multiple $billion endowments that were like not guaranteeing their normal day-to-day staff wages, you know, like the people who clean for them, the people who generally cook for them, that were planning on working for them, you know, continuously. I mean, usually those jobs are pretty stationary unless the person wants to leave because they don't like the working conditions. It's one of those things where it's like, so $100,000 for like the next 3 months of pay for these people, you can't afford with your 300 million flexible endowment. I'm being generous, by the way, saying it's only 300K because the school I'm mentioning had like a $5.4 billion endowment that did that. And I was just like, so $1.5 billion, you can't swing 100K for these people, huh? Who work hard for you to make sure that people have food all the time and stuff, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's a difficult situation for business owners and leaders at the moment, isn't it? I wouldn't be in that situation.
I wouldn't care as much if they didn't preach they don't preach values. If they didn't preach values, I wouldn't. It's
that's true.
It's like a do as I say, not as I do sort of thing. I grew up in a big Italian family, big Greek family as well, and it's a common like Eastern Southern European sort of thing to say. The old do as I say, not as I do. And they're kind of pulling one of those, and I'm like having PTSD.
Yeah. Don't want to get too much into that.
No, it's all good. But regarding that, like I was thinking about conceptually, like Oxford's education and Harvard's education is probably similar, you know, like quality wise, you know, they're considered the best in the country or whatever. And I know for a fact it's just ridiculous that Harvard's tuition's like 6 times what Oxford's is conceptually, right?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
There's a for the actual students, we actually do get sort of subsidised by the government. So I think that's where this, like, I don't think that happens at all over there, does it?
No, I mean it's state colleges. They do get subsidized, but you gotta understand, even state colleges like in Illinois where I'm from, tuition is still $30,000 even though it's subsidized.
Yeah.
A year.
That is mad.
It's bogus.
Yeah. I don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment. How much would that be in pounds?
I think you guys are at 1.2 on us right now.
Oh, okay.
So it'd probably be about
25.
25-ish. I can't do math right now, but like mid-20. They're like mid to high 20,000.
Okay. So that is still a considerable amount. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like imagine coming out of college with 100,000 pounds in debt.
That is insane.
For an in-state run subsidized entity.
Not even the full amount. Yeah. That is mad. Yeah, because that's the thing, like, I know we talked about it before, as in like with Dave Ramsay, you get all the calls that he gets, like doctors say, "Oh, I'm in 500K of debt." It's just like, how is that even possible? How could you? Like, I know. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of debt at all, and I think I would be like shaking like the whole time with nervousness and sort of anxiety.
Because you can't default on it though. In here, because the way that it was structured and set up, it was lobbied so that the loaning companies can't allow us to default on that debt.
That is, that's just scary, isn't it? Because you're truly in a hamster wheel, aren't you? Like
you have to pay it back.
Yeah,
like, you will go to the grave and you have to pay it back, and that's just like wow. And then when I hear the amnesty thing over there, I'm like, man, that'd be sweet. Because conceptually, could you imagine somebody making 24,000 pounds a year and then just like casually saving that up somewhere, and then one day they're retired with with hundreds of thousands of pounds or like half a million pounds, and they're just like, all right, I'm good. And I was just chilling.
Yeah, it didn't pay anything. Yeah, that's the thing. Funny. Like, it's just, it's weird, isn't it?
It's weird.
But yeah,
I do want to talk about one more thing before we finish out. It's about the classic, the beer thing. You know, you got that whole situation with the prime minister, but I'm curious how the rest of this time has affected you positively, negatively, and positively, hopefully to end it out.
Yeah. So negatively first.
Yeah, I'd say. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So negatively, obviously, it's been quite difficult not seeing family. So at one point, I think it was, I hadn't seen my brother and my dad for like 6 months. And my mum for 3 or 4 months. Like we've been to see them now because it's okay. We're allowed to do that now. However, it was a bit of a difficult thing because me and my girlfriend live in like a flat, so 2-bed flat. We don't have a garden. Admittedly, our area is fairly nice, so we can go for walks and stuff around here.
Good.
But it was just a bit of a isolation sort of thing. And working from home, that was not difficult, but it's just a new experience because I had never worked from home at all. To go in basically full time for the last 3 or 4 months doing, I don't know if you can see actually. Actually, no, I won't show you that because it's a bit messy. But I've got my desk set up just here and smashing work there. And the other thing is the gym was closed, so I was me and my girlfriend were properly getting into fitness and going to the gym consistently 3 or 4 times a week and doing proper good job of going to the gym. And then that sort of got cut for a good 4 months, and we were properly in the swing of things. So that's sort of dampened my progress a little bit because it's just not the same working out at home, I don't think, unless you have the right equipment.
Yeah, it's totally
I don't know
not.
What your thoughts of that? Yeah,
it's totally not.
Could still run.
I have an elliptical right there, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I personally run outside, which is fine. Bodyweight workouts are only for certain people, in my opinion. I think you have to be relatively pretty good in shape for bodyweight workouts to be an option. Like I don't know about what your thoughts on that are, but being able to like knock out a lot of push-ups or a lot of other bodyweight things, you got to have good core strength and stuff like that. And I think it's difficult to get a quality workout in just with your body weights if you don't have a background in being fit all the time. Like
100%. Yeah. Well, we so my mate, my friend, he's a personal trainer. So we've got this app. Let me find the name of it. It's called Spa. Have you heard of it? No. So basically, every day you can do a challenge. So at the moment we're doing 30 press-ups a day, and you basically record you doing the press-ups, or record you saying you've done them. But we've actually recorded us doing them so that we don't know that we're not cheating. So we've been doing that, and we've done that for the last 2 months, I think. So it was 20 press-ups for the first month, and now we're on 30. So I think we're halfway through this month. But I think that's a really good sort of way of doing it. It's not much, but it's just another way of just keeping a tiny bit fitter than I would have been if I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, 30 push-ups is hard, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's not doing it every day. It does get sore, but I think it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Yeah, I was doing this thing where, and I still have been, when I wake up, I just do some sort of light exercise, and my thing was it started with drop and give me 10 push-ups, drop and do 15, then 20, get up to 30. Yeah. So that...
Do you do the Batman press-ups?
By what?
Straight out of bed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
yeah. That when he's in the prison. Yeah.
No. Sorry, no. I think it's Batman Begins, where he basically just wakes up and then he'll just go straight into a press up.
No, I mean I'm not that weird. No.
Oh, you should try that. It's good fun.
Yeah. I was talking about when he was in Ra's al Ghul's lair or whatever, and he was just doing a bunch of push-ups in the third one. Or, is that the third one? I don't remember.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, we
Yes.
watched that the other day actually.
It's a great movie. All of them are pretty good.
Yeah,
Trilogy.
They're actually putting them in the theaters or cinema, because obviously they need to get people back in. So I think they're doing a whole trilogy
Nice.
in the cinema. So that'll be probably good. Definitely
We're
go
doing
watch that.
drive-ins now. Soldier
Oh,
Field,
really?
which is the Chicago Bears stadium. That
Oh,
parking
yeah.
lot is going to do a giant drive-in theater.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that'd be a big old screen.
Oh, it's a big old one.
That'd
be fun to watch.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah,
Be like we're in the 80s now with drive-in theaters again.
yeah. It's a shame the cars aren't really built for it now, are they?
Nah.
But
Too big.
yeah. And then so going back onto my thing. Positively, obviously, my YouTube channel is doing fairly well. I've managed to consistently put out content, which I wasn't really doing before, because I did have a bit of a break when we moved into this new place, because I just couldn't find the lighting. I don't know if you've had like issues with that.
Yeah.
Like this room it's got one window. It's not massively huge, and you can see it's not the lightest of rooms. But I think I've made it work now, which is good.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
I think what you're doing right now on your channel is pretty great. I'm excited to see where your channel is by the time this gets posted. Who knows? Like I said, both might be in a better spot than we even imagined. Because I made the comment about Greg and we were on his podcast. I was like, hopefully you're at 600. Man's got to be at 800 or 900 by the time it comes out. So or more. So you never know.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's pray to the YouTube gods.
Yeah.
Go. I don't know what the name of the CEO of YouTube is, but whatever her name is.
Susan Wozniak, I think.
Susan. All right. Well, Susan.
Yeah.
Let's help
Go on,
her
give
out.
us a shout out.
Yeah,
put your
come on,
name in
Susan.
here. Come on.
I'm sure everyone likes Susan.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think this was a great one. This was it's one of my favorite podcasts. I really appreciate you being on the show, and I give you the floor for the last whatever you want to say for this last minute.
Okay. Oh, well, I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm joking. So just thanks for having me, because it's been good fun. I think we've got through a lot of chat. I don't know what we're on 29. Yeah, so nearly an hour and a half. So I think we had a good chat. I've enjoyed it, and thanks for having me.
All right. Well, make sure to go check out Euan's channel in the comment or the description down below and the podcast notes. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.